Star Wars Outlaws is officially coming out, guys. It is sitting at a nice 77% on Metacritic. Let's be real, though. That's what's expected out of a Ubisoft game. This game is probably going to bomb. It seems like a lot of the reviews are average. And for a regular game, a regular run-of-the-mill third-party game, that might not be so bad. But for Star Wars, a game that's licensed with the Star Wars name attached to it, a game that Ubisoft has probably put a lot of money and development into, that's not going to be good at all. And what's to blame for it? Well, obviously, we got all the DEI stuff that's been injected to this game. Stupid things like community managers being overall toxic on social media. You have the uglification of the main protagonist. All sorts of other jacked up shit in regards to this game being labeled woke, which we're not even going to get into that right here. Let's talk about the fact that this game, if you want to get the deluxe edition with every single thing on it, is going to run you 130 fucking bucks. But never fear, Ubisoft Plus, a subscription service, is here, which will run you about $17.99 a month, and you'll get everything, including the early access, the, I guess, premium pass that gives you all of the DLC coming out. And yeah, $17.99 a month. But guess what? You don't get to own it. That's the killer. You don't get to own it because Ubisoft doesn't want you to own their games. Well, again, 77. We'll see what happens when the user reviews come out. Honestly, it's pretty surprising that the critics are being somewhat so-so about this, considering that video games journalism is DEI infected. But I wanted to talk about the game and show you guys some of the responses from Twitter. RGT85 played the game and had a review about it if you want to check it out. But let's look at other people. Greg Miller says it's a 4 out of 10. Meh on the kind of funny scale. Heartbreaker for a game I was so excited about. And that's the thing. When it comes to Ubisoft games, they tend to play it safe. They don't really go out of the bounds of, I guess, familiarity. If you play an Assassin's Creed game, they're all pretty much the same formula. And I'm assuming this is just basically Assassin's Creed in space with the other Ubisoft mechanics behind it. A 4 out of 10 is a lot more honest than I would feel that we're seeing out of IGN. IGN gave it a 7. We saw Dexerto with a 4 out of 5. And there's been a few others on here that I'm like, okay, you know what? It seems like the general consensus is that the game is a 7 out of 10. And then there's a whole bunch of like 5s, 4s. Things like that. I think seeing gamers, actual content creators, talk about the game being a 4 to 10 is a little bit more realistic of a hope without it being an Ubisoft shill. I can't even say it. My tongue is twisted like I've been fingering a Sorlac and licking its clit. Okay, anyways, you can see people in the responses are saying they had high hopes for Star Wars Outlaws, but this game didn't even come close. A 4 to 10 on the kind of funny scale equals meh. RG85 says, wait, Greg and I think the same thing about Star Wars Outlaws. What time is this? Timeline is this? And you can see Grum says Greg Miller on the Kind of Funny Games podcast gives Star Wars a 4 out of 10. We'll wait till it goes on sale. And I think that's the general consensus. You can see Mr. Matty Plays actually said, I reviewed Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm bummed to say it didn't jive with me as a massive Star Wars fan. Andromeda-level motion capture, constantly forced and frustrating stealth segments without the proper mechanics to support it. Huge missed opportunity with the reputation system that is extremely easy to manipulate. Nyx is cute, and the worlds look pretty solid. So, again, seems like a more honest review than what we're getting out of IGN. You could even say they say the AI is a big problem in this game, and you can see literally AI cannot detect Kay. She's literally in the middle of a whole bunch of stormtroopers shooting, and I know it's a stormtrooper meme that they can't aim or shoot. But look at this. This is a AAA game. This is one of the top games that Ubisoft is putting out to guide them besides Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it's a buggy mess. This is what you're going to pay $130 for, guys? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So I think these scores that are lower are actually on the honest end. Anybody rating it like a 10, absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. The game looks like a mess too, guys. It's just kind of strange that a lot of these issues are coming out at launch. And if you take a look right here, he says is the level of Star Wars AI. That's the same thing for Pirate Nation. But the replies say, at least the Stormtroopers are living up to the meme. I haven't been able to play it yet, but I almost wish I didn't know anything about this game before it released. I feel like I already have a negative attitude towards it. Almost like a gaming version of Poison the Well debate tactic. And in all honesty, yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to this game. And then you started seeing the nonsense like community managers banning people, community managers hating white people and gamers. You saw the other nonsense with Ubisoft employees in regards to Assassin's Creed Shadows, where I think all the bad press and publicity as a whole from Ubisoft as a company has just kind of tainted the game for me. Now, take a look at this. Grum's posted this takedown. Look at this. Watch. Glitching already. Look at that. Oh, my dear God. First of all, look at how glitchy the graphics look. I'm sure there's artifacting because of the download video, but look at this. Look at him slide like Michael Jackson. Horrible takedown. Horrible fucking takedown. You can see what's even funnier is that the same thing happened in the same spot for other players. So apparently it's a repeatable bug, right? That's what I look like when I tried taking out the trash in the morning before a cup of coffee. Ubi probably. Clearly, this is player error as they didn't use the force correctly to slide cancel completely into the tall grass, giving away their cover. Rasputin says, wow, this game looks terrible. Now, here's one complaint I saw from Jason Schreier. It says, review codes for Star Wars Outlaws went out last Monday with an embargo for this morning. Gotta wonder how that impacted the reception. It boggles the mind that a company would spend 4+ years and God knows how many millions of dollars on a game only to give reviewers 6 days. So that's true. Only 6 days to fully review and flesh out a video game that has a lot of problems, obviously. Here's another one from Kami. Let's take a look at this. Same spot, actually, as that other glitch. Might even be the same video, actually, that was just shared. Yeah, it's the same exact video. But I know that there was another one in the same spot. Yeah, here we go. By PlayStation game size. Same exact spot.
Go get him.
Like, what is going on here? This is supposed to be a $130 deluxe edition game?
Go get him.
And again, this goes beyond just problems of, oh, it's DEI and it's right-wing grifters crying that they don't have jerk-off material. This is a game that Ubisoft is hoping to bank off of. It's a Star Wars property, guys. And again, we're seeing bugs. We're seeing mediocre review scores on top of all that DEI nonsense. And funny enough, Ubisoft didn't give me a review code this time. They've given me review codes for nearly every game the last 4 years. But I think because I've been harsh on Ubisoft this last year with Assassin's Creed Shadows and calling out some of their employees, I think maybe I might have bent a few rules that they didn't like, maybe ruffled some feathers. So I didn't get a code, but it's funny enough that we're actually seeing people that got review codes like RGT being completely honest about this game. So we'll see if that actually affects their standing with Ubisoft as well. I could see that happening, but Ubisoft, like I've been covering, has just been worried about political narratives, woke ideologies, diversity, getting ESG and DEI clout and checkpoints. It seems like they forgot and lost their way. And I mean, not too long ago, I think I saw a story that they laid off people. I know some people were talking about that. I didn't get to talk about that. But if you look at what's going on with them as a company. Their stock is dropping down. They're having to let go of employees. They're pushing their whole Ubisoft Plus service, which is mediocre at best. I'm not gonna lie, I thought maybe $17.99 would be worth checking Star Wars Outlaws out. I might still do that. But it's really hard when you don't really see the benefit to anything else besides playing a game in early access that's getting mediocre reviews. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I feel so indifferent about Star Wars Outlaws to the point where it's like I don't even care to wait for it to go on sale at this point. I really haven't heard anybody say anything good about this game and where it stands at this point in time. And from everything that I've seen, if it's an average game, I'd rather just go back and play my backlog. So I want to know what you guys think about this. If you're currently playing Star Wars Outlaws, feel free to sound off in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one.